Hey everybody, this is Herschel from High School Top 200. This number 7 ranking of the top 25 teams in the country. Number 7 is Auckland Grammar. Auckland Grammar has had a pretty good preseason. They had good hitouts against Mags and St. Peter's and Tauranga Boys, winning all of those. They look like they're going to be in pretty good shape, even though they had some big time players leave. Auckland Grammar is just one of those schools where they always have a lot of talent, a lot of depth as well within the school and within the rugby program. So you can't really feel sorry for them too much. You just know that they're always going to be there in the end, and really pushing the other teams in the competition, and especially in the 1A competition. They're going to have one of the best props in the country, Solar Mo. I have him as a New Zealand secondary school player. Just a big, strong kid who's real physical. Is great when he's fit. At the end of last season, it was really cool to see how fit he was and how mobile he was and how much stuff that he was freely able to do around the field when he was. And I think that's why Auckland Grammar have that different dynamic to their team when he's a part of it. Because there's also Tua Herman, who's another big kid, and you still got Austin Artinga as well in the propping positions that can come in for him when he gets tired or when he breaks down. And that's the other thing too, is that whenever you watch Solomon play, he doesn't look like he's it doesn't look like he gets tired. It doesn't look like he struggles throughout the game or anything like that. It always seems like his motor is always going. But Sam Ranger is probably the other one at hooker who I really like, and that front row is going to be really competitive regardless of who they come up against, and it's a big front row too. Because Tua Herman is the same as sort of Solo as well. There's just two big massive boys in your front row, and then even Sam Ranger's not that small of a kid either. So it's going to be hard for whoever comes up against them to know who to really pay attention to. If you pay too much attention to Sola, like you're going to leave Tua open, and then he's going to start getting in his meters as well. Nick Livingston and Saya Moala are the locks. One thing I noticed about Auckland Grammar is that they don't really have tall locks. They don't have these tall proper locks. They just have some big kids, guys of size, guys that are athletic and that will do the job for them. And so that's kind of what you got to look forward to when you go and see Auckland Grammar play, is that they're all kind of the same height, they're all kind of the same kind of build, style type, but it all just kind of works out in the end. Jeff Ikani is going to be at blindside. They look like Ollie Parkinson is at open side, and Zach Partai is at number 8. And Jeff is a kid that was stuck in lock for pretty much the last 2 years, and I always thought that he was a blindside. And so now that he gets his chance at in year 13 to play blindside, I actually think he's going to have a really good year. I think even at the next level, he's probably not going to be a blindside, but he'll probably be one of those real athletic props. I would probably, you don't need him to move over to prop right now because they're already sussed with Tua and Sola. And so, Jeff is just going to be another interesting kind of guy to see this year and how he transitions over. Ollie's also a really good guy. Really good player at open side, and he'll get you all the kind of turnovers that you need and just that niggly stuff as well. And Zach would just add to a lot of the runners that they have anyway within that forward pack. Riley Samuela also looks like he's going to be the first 5. So then it'll be Riley, Corey Evans, Simeon Latu are going to be the 10, 12, 13. And obviously with Matt gone, it does change it, but that's still a really, really good 10, 12, 13 combination right there. And I mean, like, you just can't complain about it either. Like, Corey is such a good player, really talented. I actually think he's. I mean, he's a lot bigger, but even when he was in year 11, he was a really good first five. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. And then Simeon's been around for ages, and so he's kind of like a veteran, like veteran. But I think the way that they'll work it out is that they're going to be playing a lot of interesting kind of looks to the back line, and a lot of movement, things like that, because you got two places where you can create, and you have good guys that can dub around, like Riley and Corey and guys like that. And so they'll be interesting to watch. They have Marcel, Connor will be there, Pukeroa will be the other one, and then Ollie White at fullback. And you can't really go wrong with what they have there. And they have some really good players as well coming off the bench, some young guys too, some year 11s and stuff. So they're still rebuilding at the same time. They will lose a few games maybe, because it's going to be hard between Sacred Heart and them, and also trying to play with St. Peter's and St. Kitts and Kings, and so like they're going to have some losses. But they can still make the top 8, and they can still make that top 4, and they can still make the finals. And then we'll see from there. But Auckland Grammar always have that team. Auckland Grammar never really struggle. Like, you never see them have really bad years or anything like that. And so this is not really going to be one of those years, and they have too many talented players in that team to really struggle anyway. That's my number 7 ranking for 2018. That's my review, Auckland Grammar. Peace.